Hello, I'm Linda Levan, Executive Director of Southern Lit Alliance, and I want to welcome you today to our presentation for the local Distinguished Author Award. As part of the Southward Abridged Festival, we are presenting this award and are pleased to have it for our third year. What we're doing is recognizing accomplished authors in our local area. The winner is selected for their whole body of work and also their quality of work and writing. Our judges are Kevin Wilson, Sewanee English professor and author of Nothing to See Here, and Deck Cheatham, author and leader of North Georgia Writing Group. The finalists they selected are KB Ballantyne, a poet, and her recent book is Edge of Echo, and Paul Lucart, fiction writer of the Museum of Heartache, and Earl Bragg, who is the winner of the award. So I'd like to introduce Earl to you. He is a North Carolina native from backwoods fishing community of Hampstead, North Carolina. He has a BA in social science and philosophy from the University of North Carolina at Wilmington, and a Master's of Fine Art in Writing from the Vermont College of Northwich University. He is a University of Tennessee Chattanooga Foundation and Battle Professor of English and has been there since 1990. Braggs is the author of 11 collections of poetry and fiction, including Crossing Tecumseh Street, Hat Dancing with Miss Bessie Smith, and Negro's Side of the Moon. His recent work, A Boy Named Boy, is a memoir about growing up Black in a small town of North Carolina and the racism and poverty and challenges that he faced. He has also recently published a collection of poems this year entitled Obama's Children. Among his many awards are inductee into the East Tennessee Writers Hall of Fame, the Anhigna Poetry Prize, the C&R Press Winter Soup Bowl Chapman Prize winner, and the Jack Kerouac International Literary Prize. As well, the Knoxville News Sentinel Poetry Prize, the Gloucester County Poetry Prize, and his Looking for Jack Kerouac was a finalist for the James Jones First Novel Contest. Okay, now I'd like to present the award to Earl Bragg. Earl, we really appreciate all your work and are pleased to present the Local Distinguished Author Award for 2021 to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I gratefully accept this award, and I must say on behalf of my teachers, all of my teachers, and especially my first poetry teacher, who did not know he was a poetry teacher. I was a kid, about 9 years old. He used to take me into the woods, and we would catch Venus flytraps. And I would ask him questions, and he told me this. He wouldn't answer the questions. He would say, if you look at something long enough, you can figure it out. And I'd also like to accept this award on behalf of my favorite writer, James Baldwin, who said, the world is held together by the love of a few people, and that we all can be better than we are now. Thank you.
I'm going to read two poems, a war poem and a love poem. I'll start with the war poem. It's called The Things They Carried. Crisco died with his soldier in his hand. That's right. He was taking a piss, and a Viet Cong sniper picked him off long distance. The morning was one of those mornings when everyone felt safe as we could feel in the bush. It was a scene perhaps from a war movie, the year of our Lord, 1969. Neil Armstrong was still walking on the moon. We were walking towards daybreak, a platoon of 18 boys in loose rank. The report we got said the area ain't hot. So we relaxed and walked slow and talked low about girls back home. Crisco's girl was Susan, a buxom blonde he said he met somewhere in California. Said she was prettier than the picture he carried like a god in his army shirt pocket. Said they were going to be married when his tour was over. It was a good day to be outside. There was a breeze, nice and cool and easy as a Sunday morning in low country South Carolina. We were stepping out from the shade into the bright sunlight. We just smoked a joint, shoelaced with heroin. We were floating on seasick waves, and that white horse was starting to kick like a Texas rodeo. We were not paying attention. The birds were singing. The air smelled fresh. The sky was chamber music and was clear. It was not a morning for war movies. We were walking in loose rank and laughing and talking about girls back home. We were drifting. It wasn't stovetop hot. There was a breeze, nice and cool and easy. The banyan trees were movie props, a Hollywood of slow dancing leaves. The joint was good. That white horse was kicking. We were not paying attention. We were joking and talking about girls back home. Crisco was going to be married. The sky was chamber music and was clear. The birds were singing. It was not hot. There was a breeze. It was a good day for a white wedding, and all the best men were standing right there, watching the rice of unbleached rain fall. So that's your war poem. This is a love poem. It's called Walking Back from Woodstock. Anytime I read this poem, people ask, did you go to Woodstock? And I say, no, I didn't go to Woodstock, but I walked back. Walking back from Woodstock. And this is the way I must come to tell you about the night of the rainstorm. She was an ordinary woman, a woman I'd known only from the way she looked at me when you were not looking. Her room was ordinary. She asked if I would come in. I was walking back from Woodstock. You'd walked away from me. Santana was nothing but a broken guitar string. I needed everything, like a little boy. I had one hand in my pocket, one hand on her steering wheel, and one hand in my other pocket. She stopped, so I got in. Her car was an ordinary car, a Plymouth or Dodge or Ford, I don't know. The back seat is what I remember. It was full of sweet-smelling pool water, blue water. I wanted to drown in the smell of lilac that night, but her tub had the claws of a lion, and I was afraid. How then, tell me, can I describe the diameter of bubbles without revealing the secrets of such blue waters? Merely to say it was a season for giving flowers is not enough. There was a storm. It was raining as it hadn't rained before. I was walking back from Woodstock. She stopped. I got inside. I turned her radio on. It wasn't loud, the splash of blue water. In a season for giving flowers. Sometimes April is a cruel month, but it wasn't that night. It was raining, and she stopped for me. So, to this ordinary woman whom I could never love, I gave the most beautiful bunch of wildflowers. Her room was an ordinary room. Her cat, ordinary, never spoke to me. The back seat, as I remember, warm and blue, she invited me in. I'd known her only from the way she stared at me when you were not looking. I was walking back from Woodstock. You'd walked away. It was raining. She was going my way. She stopped. Her car was ordinary. I got in. Warm blue water, scented oil, candles, flowers placed to float as lilies on a pond, prince or frog, not for me to decide. I needed a ride. It was raining. If I cannot remember a thing she said that evening, isn't it like she never said a thing that evening? If I cannot remember the touch of her skin, isn't it like I never touched her at all? I was walking back from Woodstock. I needed a ride. I needed to look into her ordinary eyes so I could see her ordinary face, but I saw nothing ordinary at all. I was afraid. It was a fast car. Her tub had the claws of a lion. I was walking along a road looking for Neil Cassidy and Jack Kerouac, writing my poems like John Berryman, sleeping in the woods until I no longer wanted to be Henry David Thoreau. But you know what, Sarah? In that room, that night, in that car, that ride fast in the back seat, blue, lilac blue, I could think only of you lying asleep with your back to me in our ordinary bed, in our ordinary room. Thank you.